Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Wendy Mbogwa and I'm born again. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited about this video because it's something that I've been wanting to do for the longest time, and finally this is the day that the Lord has made. So Hizi Sifa, I'm here to talk about Hizi Sifa. Some of you guys have been asking about why I wrote the song and what inspired it, and I'm glad you asked because that is why I am here. So Hizi Sifa, I recorded it in 2020. This year. First of all, I never at any point thought that I'll be recording songs before I finish my degree. For them that do not know, I am a third-year student in Taita Taveta University, and I always thought that I would work on music as soon as I finish my degree, but today I realized that God had a different plan. So 2020 began like a good year for me. I was doing just fine. I went back to school and I was okay until I started getting sick. I'll never forget how it all began. I was in church on a Friday night. It was a kesha. I was actually leading worship, and all of a sudden I feel this sharp pain on my chest. It was unexplained and I had never felt that before, and at first I ignored. I thought it's nothing and that it is going to go away, but it never went away. It continued and it persisted. The next day I woke up with even more symptoms, these unbearable headaches. I was so weak and I was not understanding what was happening. I tried taking painkillers. I go to the dispensary, they give me some drugs, but nothing was changing, nothing was happening, and I was not improving. It went on for days became weeks, and when I went back to the dispensary, they told me that I needed to go home for more scans and further checkup. And that is what I did. I went back home. Upon reaching home, I was taken to the hospital and they did some tests on me. And as I was waiting for the results, when I went back home, I was wondering what on earth happened to me, because I didn't know why this was happening to me. I was suffering so much. I was in a lot of pain. I was shedding tears for physical pain, and I was here begging God to at least reduce this pain and allow me to find some sleep. And I felt like he was not responding. I felt like he was not listening, and I even doubted his presence, and it was getting bad. I got disturbed mentally and I got into depression. And at this particular moment, the devil was speaking to me and taking advantage. He even planted suicidal thoughts in my head, and I felt like I am not strong enough to cope with this, and life is not worth living anymore. And I felt like I needed to take away my own life. I even planned how I'm going to do it. It was so bad for me at that particular moment. Everything was just seeming meaningless, and I just felt so hopeless and miserable. And this one day, on my bed, I feel God speaking to me and telling me that He has healed me and it's time for Him to glorify Himself through me. At first I didn't understand because I was not feeling anything close to healed. When I look at myself, I was not feeling anything close to recovery, and I doubted that I am healed. A few days later, my friends come over, and then they give me some money for me to continue with my medication. And the next day I feel the same voice, the same message, that I have healed you and it's time for me to glorify myself through you. So this time I'm praying and asking God, what does this mean? Why are you saying that you have healed me and I can't see healing? And the conviction and the understanding that I got at that moment was that He has healed me, and what I need to do is believe. Believe does not involve sight. And after believing, what I need to do is testify. And I felt like if that is the case, then I need to testify not just to a small number of people who had seen me ill, but to testify to even them that never knew that I existed. And all of a sudden, this idea hits me for the very first time. How about I record a song? And I I call a friend who had recorded a song earlier and ask her to connect me to any producer that she knows. And I felt like this is urgent and I need to do it as soon as possible. And she connects me to a producer, and the producer asks me to go to the studio the next day. I had never done that before and I was still not doing well. I literally dragged myself to the studio. He even noticed that I am not okay, but nothing would have stopped me at that particular moment. In fact, I told nobody that I was going to record, and I didn't even know which song to record in the first place. But when I reached at the studio, he asked me what song I'm doing, and I said Hizi Sifa. Hizi Sifa is a song that I had written some time back, but I never knew that this was the time for me to now take it out there. And I felt like the only thing I wanted to do at that moment is give God praise. I did not want to sing a song of sorrow and a song of tears and a song of pain. I wanted to sing a song of praise. I wanted to sing a song of praise to my God straight into the devil's face. I wanted to show him that he is defeated, he has lost, and he is under my feet. And I felt like God deserves praise. Whether I am in pain or whether I'm in pain or I'm not, he still deserves the praise. And I sang Hizi Sifa from the bottom of my heart. I sang it with all of my heart, and I felt like I just want to tell God that let these praises reach you because you deserve these praises. And a few days later, Hizi Sifa is out. First of all, my parents were shocked. They never understood how on earth I took myself from bed to studio. But they were happy for me, which confirmed to me that indeed it was the will of God for me to record Hizi Sifa at that moment. And God changed the situation. I cannot explain medically what happened to me after that, but I can tell you that God healed me. I started recovering, I started getting better, my bones were getting stronger every day, and now I can give a testimony that I am fully healed and I am giving God the praise and the glory. He led me, He ordered my steps, He directed me, and He fulfilled His promise that He has healed me, and it's time for Him to glorify Himself through me. And I give Him praise because right now Hizi Sifa is blessing a lot of people. It has been planted in the hearts of many people, and they are just a testimony, and they just help me understand that indeed God wanted me to do that at that particular moment. So that is how I ended up in the studio for the very first time. That is how I recorded Hizi Sifa, and that is how I got it out there. And I give God praise for what He's doing in my life and the lives of many people through that song. He has placed more songs in my heart, and it's just a matter of time, and I'll be releasing them and they will be out there blessing more people. So please subscribe to my channel if you have not, and we will continue getting blessed together. Thank you so much for being with me. That was all for today. May the Lord bless you so much. Bye.